really want to migrate from there. Because you did yourself. The first person that takes it, he has to think. Have you spoken to Dr. Gottfried? No,
Greetings to you on the occasion of the International Open Education Week 2016. It's that time of the year for us to collectively reflect on our various efforts to promote open education in a very diverse and uneven world. At the Commonwealth of Learning, we believe that learning is our common wealth, and for that reason, it must be open and shared. Commonwealth heads of government established the Commonwealth of Learning, or COL, in 1987 to create and widen access to opportunities for learning by promoting cooperation between educational institutions throughout the Commonwealth, making use of the potential offered by distance education and technologies. COL's mandate is to increase access to quality education and to promote a collaborative culture among Commonwealth institutions. COL created free content on teacher training well before the term OER was first coined. COL was the first intergovernmental organization to adopt an OER policy in 2011. And COL played a leadership role in organizing the World OER Congress with UNESCO and the Hewlett Foundation in 2012. We strongly believe that the open education resources movement is an important milestone in democratizing education in the 21st century. Now, what does open education mean to us? Let me highlight 4 key aspects. First, openness is a way of increasing access to learning opportunities. Promoting openness means increasing access to education for those who need it the most, such as the underprivileged and the marginalized. And we have been supporting this through the open university systems. Second, openness is about flexibility and freedom. The flexibility in entry requirements and the duration of study empowers learners to achieve their objectives in their own time while not compromising the quality of their education. This freedom complements the flexibility by breaking down the confines of time, geography, and medium, whereby learners have the opportunity to study according to their circumstances. And COL promotes openness in formal, non-formal, and informal learning, covering the entire spectrum of lifelong learning. Third, openness should lead to open courses and curricula. A system cannot be truly open if the learners are strapped for choice in terms of what to study. An open system allows learners to mix and match courses to create their own personalized learning experience. Openness is about avoiding duplication, and the OER movement provides the opportunity to reuse, adopt, and adapt materials without having to reinvent the wheel. COL materials are published under open licenses, and an increasing number of our partners are doing likewise. Finally, we at COL believe that openness is about continuous improvement. The true claim to openness can only be justified when an institution is constantly looking for ways to improve its policies and practices to provide the best service to its students. In short, we believe that openness is all about creating a lifelong learning society, which is the key to sustainable development. No one can do this alone. Let us join hands to achieve this worthy goal. Thank you.
No, good morning, certificates. Okay, start. All right. So welcome everybody. We're going to start. It's a privilege to be for educators. One thing I always talk when the Nigerian students, when they shout greatest Nigerian students, they respond by shouting grades. But the simple truth is if you have great educators, you have great students. So it all starts from here. So I want to welcome you all. My name is Leonid Abuju. I'm the educator manager for certain executive. So all that is just to compile, to plan, manage whatever it is that we do, the conferences as a whole. As teachers, we've done a lot of conferences and seminars, workshops as well. We've worked with Creative Commons, we've worked with Google. There's a few jobs here and there. And the latest one is the GE, Google Educator Group in Nigeria, the first year in Nigeria movement. And it's an exciting moment too. To have you as our first batch of educators that will be onboarded to that platform. So thank you so much for coming. So I want us to quickly introduce ourselves. Normally, we will start from Daddy here and go around this way. So you just introduce yourself. It doesn't matter, sir. These are our hosts. No problem, sir. Okay. Thank you. From the SC, so education. Never heard of the campus.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm Ekule Yunusa from the University of Lagos, Department of Higher Education. I specialize in international education.
Thanks so much. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm Solomon Olubunro of Yabate. Scotland. It's Nasa will introduce himself happens to be our host. Without saying, I don't think we'll be here at this moment. And he said, I don't think we don't have the facility to be to go with everybody at the moment. He said, we take it for example. But then what we have seen, granted that permission to do this system. I want him to introduce himself. He's our host here at the FC.
Amayodele Kola by name, Center for Educational Technology, FC Akoba.
Thanks. So we'll go straight into the workshop. It has to do with digital literacy in open educational context, alongside AI. So this is massive. Well, as we all know, civilization started from Africa, to where the Europeans were to. But if you look back into history, they had to exploit the knowledge we have here. We find it and be able to fire off. So I guess we're doing the reverse now. Taking what they already have now, we're trying to refine it and also fire off again. I so much believe that the time will come where Africa will have to do it very, very soon. And I think it'll be my lifetime. Welcome. So before I start, yes, education is now miss. Welcome. Welcome. Take any seat you want. Marking this is. I was beginning to say that
Even if not here, I thought someone was sitting here and that's where the lights were now.
Sorry, we attended to what is why we are coming to why we are called lecturers to.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
My name is Dr. Stella. St. Augustine College of Education.
Yes.
To Mary Jennifer.
Same institution.
Yes.
We start already, so I'll be bringing on board major facilitator, and then just the support. So I'm bringing on board. His name is John Okewale. He happens to be the first certified Google educator in Nigeria, third in Africa. He has done a lot of work in how to bridge the gap between education system and education system that is enhanced with technology. I guess we can't really do so much without the influence of technology into our educational system. It's very, very, very paramount. As you can see, we have a lot of facilities there. We have to know, we have to be able to prime ourselves. Now we can engage and interact with this technology and we're going to infuse it to the next generation. And that is what this workshop is really about. And I believe that at the end of the day, we're going to fire off faster based on our visions on how we want to impact knowledge and transfer that knowledge to the next generation. So I want to call on our name is ready for us, Mr. John Okewale. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Good morning, sirs. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Welcome. Yeah, so we are so glad that we are all able to make it today. Uh, yeah, it's something that actually been offering for a while. So uh, thank the good Lord that made it possible for us to be here today. So quickly, because our time is fast spent and we have to be here as soon as possible because I know everybody is busy. I don't blame educators because I know their hands are always full. So, but we'll get us into a couple of things and then will now tell us what the rest 11 of things. But the key uh, thought that we are talking about is open education. So that was why let me appreciate everybody. Um, I think we deserve a round of applause. Let us clap now the survey that we feel are really appreciated because it shows readiness for um, things to keep on moving because now that's part of when we look at things like that, they are part of the tools that we use as indicators to foster what we are doing, to get feedback, to change situation. Now, you can't move anywhere without feedback, without information, without getting assessment of what's going on. So that's very, very important. So now the survey gave us some this information about our sets here, and by and large, if it happens to because all of us here we are teacher educators, we are handling people in faculty of education, education school or something like that. You welcome, sir. Yeah. So if it is like that, then that means that for something like open education, which I've actually been for several decades now, there's a lot to be done in our system to actually get us into the frame of things. And I would quickly throw this into the discussion. Do we all know that yes, open education came from a philosophy called openness. There's something we call openness about. I'm going to show us what that is in GP. Now, all the things that we're talking about AI today would never be possible without openness. So everybody say, yeah, teacher can't do this. Because one of the central things that is in at AI is data, data mining, data exploration, and all that. And there's no how AI you can have AI without the access to data that it can actually be able to have. But yes, and most of the data were first gotten from open data. So, and then without open data, so without the openness philosophy, then AI is not going to be possible. Because now it is also what brought us open source software. Now, that's a big technical, but basically that's it. We have different kinds of software that we use. Every one of us will use. In fact, it's very simple. How many of us have an Android phone here? Android phone. If you have an Android phone, okay. So if it is an Android phone, then it uses an open source software. So that software is made available openly. Now, most times people talk about open and free, but it's not always the case. But it's most times the case. But open is so much of how this thing is accepted and how you likely make it available to others for them to also develop and work with it. So it's the philosophy that's the first thing that we need to get out of here. So when we understand the philosophy, then every other thing it will easily go on. Now, so because of our time, there's not going to be so much, but I'm going to show some certain videos to thought about what openness is, especially what open education is, because all of us are educators. Now we need to get that aspect clear. Now, when we now talk about, after we've talked about open education, we now talk about open educational resources. I mean, a lot of us about educational resources. There's been a lot of programs that they have come to do, and we have some people that are likely not to become here now, producing OER, but none of us are there yet. And this thing is an actual word. Openness is an actual word. It's not something that you just read about and then yes. But it's something that you need to start to make use of, or else we are not there. So that is the so I'm going to show us a video now. It's two actually. But let me first of all give us the first one.
Education is vital. It enriches our lives, sustains our communities, and helps us grow into the future. At least, that's the idea. Truth is, education, we know it, is failing millions around the world. Take Tando, for example. He's a bright kid with big dreams, but the education he's getting is holding him back. You see, Tando's school can't afford the latest learning materials, so he has to work with textbooks that are completely outdated. To make matters worse, Tando's teacher is also left using outdated information, often without even realizing it. And even if he manages to overcome this and gets into college, the cost of all the lessons, books, and notes he needs will land Tando in a pile of debt. It's not just Tando. This situation is being replayed in schools and colleges all around the world. So much for education for all. So how can we fix things? The answer lies in open education. Open education is a global movement that aims to bring quality education to teachers and students everywhere. The basic idea is to put top
So that's presentation.
much learning materials on the web that anyone can access for free. You see, unlike textbooks, open ed resources can always be revised, so they're never out of date. Teachers are given free license to adapt them and improve them, giving students exactly what they need to achieve their dreams. As all open ed resources are free to share, schools are no longer limited by where they are or how much money they have. And if you think open education doesn't make the grade, think again. Open ed resources are being created by the world's most respected institutions and scholars. From the highest branches of government right down to grassroots level, open education is changing lives. Visit creativecommons.org/education to learn more.
So, sorry, while that video was going on, there was a bit of a glitch. I don't know if you all. Yeah. Did I just quickly play this? I should play it.
Education is vital. It enriches our lives, sustains our communities, and helps us grow into the future. At least, that's the idea. Truth is, education as we know it is failing millions around the world. Take Tando, for example. He's a bright kid with big dreams, but the education he's getting is holding him back. You see, Tando's school can't afford the latest learning materials, so he has to work with textbooks that are completely outdated. To make matters worse, Tando's teacher is also left using outdated information, often without even realizing it. And even if he manages to overcome this and gets into college, the cost of all the lessons, books, and notes he needs will land Tando in a pile of debt. It's not just Tando. This situation is being replayed in schools and colleges all around the world. So much for education for all. So how can we fix things? The answer lies in open education. Open education is a global movement that aims to bring quality education to teachers and students everywhere. The basic idea is to put top-notch learning materials on the web that anyone can access for free. You see, unlike textbooks, open ed resources can always be revised, so they're never out of date. Teachers are given free license to adapt them and improve them, giving students exactly what they need to achieve their dreams. As all open ed resources are free to share, schools are no longer limited by where they are or how much money they have. And if you think open education doesn't make the grade, think again. Open ed resources are being created by the world's most respected institutions and scholars. From the highest branches of government right down to grassroots level, open education is changing lives. Visit creativecommons.org/education to learn more.
Okay, so that's the first video. Again, okay, let me first ask before I jump into say what we all want to do. So who can give it to us in 30 seconds or less what the video talked about?
I think it's basically openness to education. How we make our wealth of knowledge open, accessible to everybody without limitations. And it gives room for continuous review, compared to the textbook. Although it happens in textbook, if you are the owner of the textbook, you can always review after 2-3 years and produce another one. But here, it's more flexible to do that. You can always update. So the access to the right quality and fast knowledge is there with open education.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Review, update, flexibility, ability to be able to do it over and over again without. Okay, yeah, come on. All right, right.
Just as low or no cost. And it is easily accessible without spending.
So that cost, I'll come to it a bit later.
There's a cost to do it.
Yes.
There's a cost to do it.
Yes.
But what I say in my other area is that the education that can get to any part of anywhere you are can access it as long as you are connected. But whether you are in the rural area, when that rural area is connected, you can make learning take place at that point. That's the way I see that what the video made about was what he said. But for that cost, there's always a cost. If there is no cost, then it means that what you are getting is not properly done. It's a leftover that you give. But if it's to come and fill the gap, because it's talking about the gap between assuming that you don't have opportunity to go to school when your next are going, then you have access to resources and you want to go to school. You can use this open education in any format you can see it to upgrade yourself. That's why I see the continuous where you mentioned in school and the flexible. The flexibility is that if you have access to your data, you have enough data that can assess you and make you to finish acquire learning from outside the shores of your content. You can acquire it. So that is where I see the whole thing on my own.
Okay, I love the bit. Now, what else?
Yeah, I just wanted to add more like a sentence to that. The coaching individual will say that resources are available and there is an application, and then there are key rules for opportunity to share with others. So basically that's
Yeah, we are.
resources is available, then the knowledge is available and share more.
Exactly. I think we have all said well from the angle of that. I'll pick up from what Madam said. Yeah, there is nothing that does not have a cost.
Yeah, there's no free lunch.
Yes, but that was why when I was talking, is that
I said that even if
with that? Okay, yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah. So, but what happened is this: cost is like cost is being managed in the process, and that is where. Yes. So cost is being managed in this situation such that there is no when it comes to making a resource out, there's no repetitive cost. As long as, and that is one of those things that there are some texts that I could, recommend for us, where they actually describe how those processes came up and how technology aided openness. So that now, with a resource, you put all your lesson notes on a World Wide Web, on the page of the internet. As long as anybody has access to the internet, and you have licensed it for that, people can actually make use of it. So the cost of making hard copies of it is gone. So that person, because the person is just like, okay, you get data, internet data subscription, and then you access it. Because even data is a cost. So that's the situation. So, but now, what we had before was that if he produces it, or the user produces this, he sells it, he has the royalty and everything. And anytime anybody wants to make use of the book, they have to consult him if they want to make copies. If they don't buy it outright, they would have to consult him legally to make sure that they are able to reproduce it. Now, where the issue is, the user might just be interested in, okay, here's the knowledge. But because of the fact that it's inside this, and yeah, okay, well, to me, somehow they're going to make some money. Yeah, fine, that is there. But the knowledge is the thing. And as me, Dr. Lisa had this one produced in 2020, and then he had produced another one in 2022 because they had seen some other reviews and all that. People will still be going for the one for 2020, but he in his mind will say, okay, let's go. I have new development, I have new ideas, I have new thoughts. So now it creates a drag in knowledge as it is, because the knowledge is what is needed. But because of the fact that the hard copies can't turn around, you can't just turn around 2030 version to 2022 without producing from the printing store, then it means that there is repetitive cost. But now with the access to what we have with the internet, he can just say, okay, fine, I will make this resource available. Anybody that needs a hard copy from me, yeah, they will get to the bookshop, Amazon or whatever, and they will buy it. But the content itself, you can just go to my page and read it. You understand? So the knowledge, the information is being released, but the most yeah. So, but the information is perpetrated.
I want to ask a question.
Okay, go ahead.
What you are saying now,
Yes.
it means that Dr. Lisa is no longer
Dr.
Minister,
Yes.
is not making any profit from that which is online.
It needs, there's another way to reach profit that he made online. You understand? So now, that is like an extended pattern. But there's a system to which all of these things have been developed over the years to help creators. You understand? So if you make your test, then you are a creator. So now, if you could actually decide that, okay,
Sorry. That system that is there
yes,
for creators,
yes,
it means that once you are part of it, you are not benefiting from it.
you are.
In what essence?
Okay, good. Now, I was talking about.
I just in order to get clarity of the concept, I think that good for us first of all establish the difference between free and open. Then after we have established the difference between free and open, then we are now going to the nitty-gritty of openness. I think maybe the nitty of openness will be answer.
Because it looks as if the whole thing is free.
So it is not free. The philosophy of free, put at the quotes, is relative. And the relative is that free has different perception. Free that you are not commercializing it. You are not making payment to use or for use or in use. You only bear your own cost of maybe pay for electricity, data, even your time. That's the concept of but not that you are making payment and pay. This your product, so I want to make sure that I have to pay for it before I can use it. That's the concept of free. Yeah, the concept of openness is different from the concept of free, but free is in openness.
That one is from the consumer's perspective.
And openness is not just on the consumer perspective, it's also on the developer.
That's perspective.
So when you now get to that breaking that, I think you're starting to
Yes, sir.
Because there are some certain things we use online. You discover that at the initial stage they will say it's free. But when you get to a point, they will now ask you, what are kind of payment?
no, that doesn't fall. Sorry. Those category of products do not fall under this. They are not part of the open products. Those one, that one is just that sort of using bait to lure you with their products. They are not part of this program. They just marketing strategy to lure you. They are not open resources.
There are some products that are called premium.
Premium.
It's like, yes, like ChatGPT. It's a premium product. You use it for some certain time, but you won't be able to use some features until you pay, just like Zoom. If you are using Zoom for free,
For the premium.
yes. If you are using Zoom, the premium this thing, there is a certain number of people that can join. But if there is 3 million, you need to use it for maybe more than 100 people. So that premium, so you can say it is the openness of the account, so you don't have to pay.
Okay.
Understand?
Okay.
Now,
Yeah.
I just want to submit that I think it's good we listen to you first before we
No, sir, we are going to.
that will redeem the time so that we
Yeah, I
can
understand.
So let's listen to you first. After the delivery, then we can go to the director session.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, everybody that for contributing. So before I go on, we have someone entering with us. I mean, 2 people here. It's okay. Can you introduce yourself, please? You enter well.
I'm Dr. Agil Shukuru, for
Nice meeting you. So, sir, welcome. Oh, it's nice meeting you, sir. Welcome. So now, one thing is this. I love the fact that we are having a cooking mind. It's very, very important. Yeah, we don't have time. There's a way we just manage that. That's not the problem. We all be here as at the time we're supposed to be. But what happens is this: it's when we ask questions, that's when we learn a lot of times. Now, where she mentioned, I definitely am coming to that. But now that openness, we must, get to understand what is not, what is it, and all of this, and let's talk about it. It's not just that we should just be decide. But now I have 4 things that there's one of the very good openness advocates. They call him Dave Comia. So he said openness open can be termed as 4 things. He's talking in terms of openness. He said open, you can see the accessible, supported open learning, supported. You see the quote, interactive dialogue, accessibility was key. So now, accessible, that's when you call it open. If it's not accessible, then it's not open. So that means if something is still like only in a document format that you can't see or it is not readily accessible to, then it's not open. So and then that means that accessibility now goes to so much of is it available on the internet or not? So because if something is not available on the internet, it's not really accessible globally. Because there's not one thing that everybody except water. Everywhere, water is everywhere. So outside water, nothing and air, nothing else is accessible to every human being at the same time. So that is so but the only thing that we are saying is if you ask and say it's www. So then and when you enter on the internet too, accessibility also determines is it behind the paywall or not. So as it then is it can someone that is like you go further to talk about accessibility, can someone that is deaf or blind can they make use of the resource? So that's another level to go. At least you take it one out. So this is accessible. So that's the first thing that you talked about. Then the next one. Now I said open equals equal opportunity, unrestricted by barriers or impediments to education and educational resources. So equal opportunity. As long as you can read and write, you should be able to make use of it. You should be able to the knowledge that is the new thing that is being shared. The knowledge. So did you make the knowledge available? Let someone that did not even go to a forward-based school be able to make use of your resource and then learn. Because in this area we call something like lifelong learning. Without open education, there can't be anything like lifelong learning. Because every information that's in FCE now, they will keep it within FCE and it can't go out. People from center can't even make use of the resource that's being produced from FCE. And those are the things that we're trying to kind of like that our philosophy was saying. Now, I'll quickly chip in this. In most of our institutions, the projects that people are producing year on year are, on they are catching dust on our shelves and library, God bless you. We all know that. Now, how many projects, what's the percentage of projects that students either from first degree, master's, PhD, how many of it actually find its way out? Yeah, say, maybe it's not completely, it's not about, see, when we talk about, those things also completely and all that. That is what should be our targeting object, that at least let it be at the barest minimum ready for it to go out. If we have a situation whereby we know that there is a standard that resources must be on the road barrier, then it will be an onus on us to make sure that we ensure a level of quality. Our quality assurance would, but because of the fact that we know up and we just drop it on the shelf of the library, nobody is going to check it. So, but knowledge is key. So, equal opportunity, unrestricted by barriers, it might be the little thing that someone produces, that someone needs to complete his own project somewhere else in Sri Lanka. But because it's not there, that person will not access it. So, openness, equal opportunity.
Sorry, I forgot to bring my.
All right. So, hello, sir. Now, he said transparency, sharing educational aims and objectives with students, disclosing mark schemes, and offering exam and tutorial advice. This one comes very much home. Now, when we're talking about learning, the real reason why an educator, a teacher and a student comes is for there to be a sharing, for knowledge to be imparted. So, but in a case that the details of the knowledge that's being imparted is not well or that shared properly, transparent, then it becomes a problem. It's not so. I went to an institution that every kind of mark that you never score, they will tell you how you can score it. So if you want to score 100, they will tell you in this state you must give us 8 things. So if you give 5, you know you can't score 100, but you already know. So you do in the step you look at it, okay, it is an 8 I want to score, so I must write at least that 8 thing clearly. You understand? So that's the situation. But if it is not transparent, then it is not good. So we are getting to start to see what openness entails. I was talking about the philosophy the other time. Then I would so the fourth thing. So okay. Now the fourth one is there's open equals open entry, most important, no requirements for entrance qualifications. All that was needed were ambition and the will/motivation to learn. Yeah, in schools definitely we can't remove the fact that schools will do admission and all that. But the content itself is what this one is talking about, the knowledge. That the information, the whole of schools now, that's why how many of us have used something on MIT Open Learning before, or MIT Open edX, as in edX, OpenAI, Coursera, Udemy, and all of that. So now the content often are made available. I said, it's when you want to now say you want to get a certificate for participation in their course and all of this. And then when you have those resources available, you always find it and access it online. So the entry barrier is removed. So now those are some of those 4 things that Kamila talked about, that when you talk about openness, the openness philosophy, these are the things that are going to start. Then you now start to come home to it. Now, let me quickly show us. Finally, let's think of our questions on this, and then we look at how do we ourselves also come up to be open, or what do you think is the challenge that we can envisage in our system that would not make things open as we have it has been described. So I will show us an organization.
Greetings to you on the occasion of International Open Education Week 2016. It's that time of the year for us to collectively reflect on our various efforts to promote open education in a very diverse and uneven world. At the Commonwealth of Learning, we believe that learning is our common wealth, and for that reason, it must be open and shared. Commonwealth Heads of Government established the Commonwealth of Learning, or COL, in 1987 to create and widen access to opportunities for learning by promoting cooperation between educational institutions throughout the Commonwealth, making use of the potential offered by distance education and technologies. COL's mandate is to increase access to quality education and to promote a collaborative culture among Commonwealth institutions. COL created free content on teacher training well before the term OER was first coined. COL was the first intergovernmental organization to adopt an OER policy in 2011. And COL played a leadership role in organizing the World OER Congress with UNESCO and the Hewlett Foundation in 2012. We strongly believe that the open education resources movement is an important milestone in democratizing education in the 21st century. Now, what does open education mean to us? Let me highlight 4 key aspects. First, openness is a way of increasing access to learning opportunities. Promoting openness means increasing access to education for those who need it the most, such as the underprivileged and the marginalized. And we have been supporting this through the open university systems. Second, openness is about flexibility and freedom. The flexibility in entry requirements and the duration of study empowers learners to achieve their objectives in their own time while not compromising the quality of their education. This freedom complements the flexibility by breaking down the confines of time, geography, and medium, whereby learners have the opportunity to study according to their circumstances. And CALL promotes openness in formal, non-formal, and informal learning, covering the entire spectrum of lifelong learning. Third, openness should lead to open courses and curricula. A system cannot be truly open if the learners are strapped for choice in terms of what to study. An open system allows learners to mix and match courses to create their own personalized learning experience. Openness is about avoiding duplication, and the OER movement provides the opportunity to reuse, adopt, and adapt materials without having to reopen licenses, and an increasing number of our partners are doing likewise. Finally, we at CALL believe that openness is about continuous improvement. The true claim to openness can only be justified when an institution is constantly looking for ways to improve its policies and practices to provide the best service to its students. In short, we believe that openness is all about creating a lifelong learning society, which is the key to sustainable development. No one can do this alone. Let us join hands to achieve this worthy goal. Thank you.
Okay, so now we've talked about openness, and all of us have actually asked, and it's from the various speakers, that what openness entails. This former president of CALL mentioned 4 things. How many of us got these 4 things that she talked about openness? She mentioned 4 things. She started by talking about flexibility. Access, what else again?
Free is not about free.
Okay, free, collaboration, okay, fine. So those are the keywords that we have, but that wouldn't be possible because just by itself. Now, for everything, there's a system that we have, that's a default system that we have on every kind of thing that we produce. We call it copyright. It's under intellectual property. So as long as you produce anything, the copyright belongs until and unless you say, I am releasing this copyright. So that is the default position for every resource that is being produced. So for us to now talk about openness and all of that, there must be a system to which that can change, or that can be tweaked. And that is where the licenses comes in. That's why I wanted us to ask you, so that we just move towards the. But before we talk about the licenses, let me give it to you, because now for open education we have one of the things that first of all came up strongly about open education is the resources, and we know the reason why, because it's the content that still drives things. In education, the content is the first thing. We were talking about materials the other time and everything like that. That is the resource that is being released out. So that is the first thing. either you teach and it's being recorded, or you write, you prepare material and you even your notes, everything falls under resources. So now, open education, first of all, came strongly in the aspect of resources, and that's why we have the word what we call OER, open educational resources. So that was OER was what first of all came up, and people started to look at it and consider it, add the wherewithal, the funding and all that. Easily, sorry, please, let me that have funding in different forms have invested into sharing their resources or putting their content out earlier. Then we now have governmental organizations that started to back it up to support, because like what she was saying, which is very very key, like can't just tell people to what they use their blood and sweat to produce. They'll say, we need it free. There must be a tax to which this is going to be. So now, every of those institutions now had a tax to which they are running those things. And that was why it was possible for them to start to do. Now, we also in our own ethics, in our own institution, are supposed to be, by default, we have the tax, we don't use of it. Now, the first thing is that every institution has institutional policy. So, and there's a policy, I think I will throw in some questions on that now. Every institution that we belong to, when we produce a material, there's a policy that guides what we produce. Yes or no? Let me know, what do we do? So let me ask that question. Are there institutional policies for every material that we produce within the institution? Okay, yeah, I thought about it like I want other institutions that I don't think it's applicable in other thing. Or the FC does not have institutional policy.
It does. We don't sell under share, we sell only book. And the book must just be properly regulated. It is submitted to the days of it. You tell us the price you want to sell it, and the committee in charge of the book will now review the price. If it is too high, we will look downward.
Okay, fine.
I want to clarify that question.
Okay.
Are you talking about the policy of ownership or policy of dissemination? Because when you say you produce any resource or any material, even if you use such a business, are we talking about, okay, the school owns it, you belong to school because you are employed there? That is the policy of ownership. But or maybe
We are regulating it so that students can be able to buy. To not be much.
so I'm not going to clarify which
No,
policy
I'm helping in your question. I said the policy Dr. Ekola mentioned.
is about not exploiting the students. So that is the nation of materials. So which policy are you now?
It's very simple. Now, as long as you produce content, now, number one, the content will serve some set of people. You will review it. It has to pay for the production process and all. So all of those things are supposed to be part of institutional policy. Because now,
We have the things to do.
No, we do. Open University has it. I think Professor Salau and I have written a book that's resource material for university 10 years ago. So we sold the patents to them and they paid. So that's the only DLI. So I don't know the quality of DLI. I know that.
Sorry.
When you write
Let me
the
get something right. The idea between owing
and selling patency ownership. You are not selling, if you sell to them, they hold it. If you have
Because the bottom.
not that they are buying from you,
No,
you produce for them.
they pay, at the same time, you can reference it as your work, but it is at their own discretion for renewal and any other thing that they want to do about it, but you will be paid for whatever work you have
And that's
done.
what I'm saying. You don't have that. The copyright. You don't have copyright. You are only referencing.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
Because they have been paid for what you teach. So copyright has the copyright.
Because they normally mention it in their.
That you may reference it. That is
They normally reference.
authorization.
They
So what
normally
you ask
mention.
about this policy I think is that when you produce raw material in your school as a lecturer, who owns it? What policy is guiding that in our school?
Not.
You are employed in a school,
Yes.
you produce raw materials, right?
In fact,
Who owns it?
let me share one idea.
There are many principles in Nigeria.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Adventure Tech Fund sponsors you. Because we have Tech Fund sponsor textbook here. So
It's everywhere.
it's everywhere. Fine. If it is sponsored by Tech Fund, then they will be the one to pay for the printing, but the acknowledge and whatever is yours. So at the end of the day, they will want to regulate the pricing, and a certain number of the book will be sent to the National Library, local library, and so on and so forth.
And you also own the copyright.
Yes.
That's what I say. That's what I'm trying to clarify. That what about ownership will be in a lot of people. Is this ownership of a copyright or ownership of maybe or it's a nation or
Now, we've all spoken of. The first thing that we need to understand in that conversation is this. It's very simple. Now, either ownership of copyrights or celebration, everything needs to be well spelled out, and everyone needs to know. Now, the question is, okay.
Let me come because when they were talking, I wanted to chip something in. There was something they did for us in our place. And the guy they were mentioning what is going on. The person that they called, the resource person, I can call it a resource person, he is a lawyer to the school, was saying that the school owns intellectual property. I wanted to talk that day, that they are not doing not
and was he making reference to a particular one or all the parties?
It was making reference to this kind of thing now we are talking about, that your materials, what you write or what you have and what is making you for the other people to see you as an academia, the school
It's conditional.
right.
If the school sponsor it.
is listen now, school did not sponsor it. Then he was saying that I wanted to tell you, but because I saw the people where they are going, I just withdraw myself.
Our statement just talking about it.
So I overlooked it. That is what is applicable here now. Like that intellectual property rights that's supposed to be spelled out. For example, the DLI contracted you to write a module for them, and they accepted their agreement, like Open University contracted you to write something for them, and you accepted the conditions. It's several things. When you write finish and they pay you, then you owner of that thing.
If you condition that, they will own it.
That's what I said. I said there are conditions there they have there. But in some cases in Nigeria, is that you may not even know the conditions.
So, but exactly what you just said now is where we are going. Because now we can't continue to have a system in which the conditions to which you are doing the particular thing is not known to you. Then all of a sudden, one day you have done everything that you want to do on it, and then someone will come and say, don't you know that XYZ is what you're supposed to do? And like, look at that. Nobody showed you those, and they'll tell you ignorance of law is not an excuse. So now, normally, and that's one of the reasons why open education is still struggling in Nigeria. I need to confess with you. Because now, everything that needs to be in place, all the information that needs to be in place needs to be available. How many of us knows the full details of the copyright information, intellectual property, all we have been discussing now? Now, where are the documents? Where are they available? You go to some institutions and they will start to tell you that you have to go and meet a person, and that person will tell you, it's somewhere, and you look like something that's supposed to be available for everybody. And it's okay, that's all. And you start on, and then they will, that is when they have actually done something that is against some people, and they will now go and bring it from their door. And they will say, yeah, this is
law of condition of service.
exactly, which is not supposed to be. So now, and that is part of philosophy of openness. Until we start to go into opening all of these details out, then we are not ready. And that is not the thing. Now, if I ask, okay, let me ask the final question, then we go to here. Now, how many of us know have access to both the IP information, the copyright information, and whatever of our institution? We have access to it, and we can share it. How many of us have access to it? You said? If you have any.
The day he has gone back to the first point. Because that thing they were telling us that intellectual property they wrote is the condition of service that they brought in through Kangaroo Way. And they brought a lawyer that want to explain that this condition of service reached to a point or to this point that even to the owning of intellectual property of a lecturer. That's why I said I swallowed a lot that day because what can nearly come out of my mouth? Because I don't want to do. I didn't want them to, because the point there is that they are using it like what you said. Until something happens, they want to use it to nail you.
Yes, the case is different in investor.
All right.
You have access to intellectual property rights document. You can get to the Milan website and download it. And if it's not accessible for you, you can go to the office and request for it. You will be handed over the copy and you will read and it will write everything that is accessible.
So that's okay.
I think one of the things that is helping Unilag institution is because Unilag is running a lot of distance outside programs. That require production of external materials. Okay. So for the fact that they are producing external materials, they I think also protect the ownership. And that is what really led them
and
investment
to a lot of innovations happening.
And we also need to be at par with global practice and global practice. That is what really motivated you to have that vision. Now, considering open national investment to the same status is applicable to, even more applicable to more national investors. That is what really compelled them to have every single business. Like our member here and my host employer here. See, they are also an their own category. No, excuse me. So they have not been there. They are not been there, but they pretend to be there. And some people are now blindfolding them. Those high jacket lawyers that they don't know nothing than what they read. They just come up. You can't claim my intellectual property. You don't own my totality.
Exactly.
You only when I say that I can use it, you own it. No, you sponsor it. Why is that? Is not claiming all the people on campus.
They only lay claim on what they sponsor.
Yeah.
So,
And
another problem
sponsor
is this.
a particular night.
Yes, another problem is this. We that are concerned, that have been affected, are not, we are docile.
We are not asking questions.
We are not asking, we have been boxed with corner. We are existing, we are not living.
No,
Well,
It depends on where you find yourself, because
Yes.
if you find yourself in our
Like, you mean like,
in our peculiar
mention your name.
place.
You know,
I don't know when I was introducing myself.
and no, this one been, you like, this is your own too. I'm from that, where are you from?
I think the peculiarity about the institution,
okay.
I'm not to mention, is because it's a private sector.
Yes.
That they can do and with the employer. And they have the sole authority and can decide who will fire.
And who's right? Maybe
So,
one in your face.
At that point, it sounds like a threat, so that people will be quiet. And government also do something like that. It's just that it is not sometimes direct.
Sometimes it doesn't be rigid like that,
Yes.
because there may be someone or group of people. Challenge it.
Yes. So don't let us shy away from it. It's actually a
Okay, so now, yes, now it's like we are stereotyping our discussion on higher institutions. Let us enlighten our host of question. What of secondary schools? Is it not also applicable to them? The open university, it's not applicable. I remember that when I was teaching at a brilliant child. Brilliant.
Private school
Is
too.
that what?
Private school too.
Private school too. So I have issue with my employer. I wanted to leave. The issue I now had that the principal directed I should submit my lesson notes that I wrote. They realized that I was an asset in the school, right? Because they gave me a lot of what the college employed me for. I repeated, you should be able to teach a lot of it. You are a man, you should be able to coordinate things. You are a science student, you should be able to teach mathematics. People I was employed to just teach basic technology. You are basically, you should be able to teach that. And I had lesson notes. Very well.
This different.
Because they said that the when I was monitoring my lesson notes, should not monitor it again. That the principal herself, no, the professors herself was monitoring my lesson plan, my lesson notes. Now I want to leave. And I said that I must submit all my lesson plan. For what?
No, they provided a exercise book.
I use my own answer. So I didn't submit it. Now, part of that situation, you have now openness. You can go online, there's some institution abroad. Also, now you can go online, and if when you are teaching a subject and you don't even have lesson notes of your own, you can go online and download.
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah.
Lesson that can use for that subject in that place. So it is also applicable to that whether the primary school, the primary, and if there are resources, teaching materials can use, be it games, be it video, be it that is applicable, because they are running standardized curriculum that is also open. So as they are running the curriculum, they are also producing the instructional materials to it. So openness calculate to the level of the lowest learning stage.
Okay, so now it's really interesting because
Sorry, like finally, all those things have national and intergovernmental regulation.
That's what.
All those that are mentioned that are open, they have national and other. When you produce it, you make it available and you keep the rules and policies.
Sorry, when they ask of the lesson, you didn't have to retrieve it from the internet or how did you-
Yes,
Yes,
download
it.
Download it.
And give it to
Yes.
But what I'm
We are talking
talking
about that place in what?
And that's the-
No.
No, you did not. What
You
is
didn't
it?
release
You didn't release it.
it. No, that's not physical. The way go go see.
This thing.
That.
Not online.
You really busy.
Release them. If I go, I'm still waiting for them.
Now I love that we're having this conversation because this is real what's have been happening to us in our various daily lives and institutions, and part of it is what we're passing over to students and teach, because they are getting into situations like this. Now I guess one of the things that I'll close a bit now, we have to come back in so that we'll deal with licensing when we come out. So now, what is critical that we need to just take home, in this kind of conversation? Okay, where can we start to gradually change the system? Because if the practitioners, stakeholders don't change it, the system is not going to change from outside. Now, one of the things that, like what you said now, an organization like CORE, they have institutional policies that they have actually designed. But the question is, are the institutions embracing it? Either the leadership is not interested, or the people don't know about it, or so it's all like that. I'll show us something, we'll call something in ESCO year recommendation. I'll play a video about it while we are on TV. So now, UNESCO has put a lot of weight on coming with documents that will help institutions and content creators within institutions to be able to get all of these things easily through. But if we don't try to push it, that this thing should be done, a lot of people that are in leadership, they are simply on the news and they want to add, but things keep changing in our eyes. And that is why we can't, and that's one of the reasons why we are having this kind of discussion. We can't afford to just sit laid back. Now, for example, if you give a student an assignment now, in front of you can just press his phone, find the meaning of the assignment, get all the resources, and just give it to you. He did not learn anything as far as they're concerned. He just knew that he gets the answer to your question somewhere. And then the answer, that's it. But learning is missing already. So that is why some of these things we need to start to know what should we do in place to actually start to come from inside. So when we will go for, we will set up the team break. So let's not stretch our legs and we'll be sitting for like 1 hour. Okay, you want to say something?
Yeah, your last statement now helped me to reminded me of one when you play the first video. I have issue with one of the points. We have 4 points.
Okay, yes.
One of them, I think the third one, when we're talking about transparency, sharing educational things and effective. And then we went for that video by extension of defining openly. Went for that to say disclosing marking schemes and exam, offering exam and tutorial. I don't have problem with having tutorial, but I have problem with marking schemes.
Okay. Okay, how do you
Because even these students, getting them ready to learn is an issue. I don't know whether most of us on the field, school, to get students to teach now is an issue. Even my institution, you say 75% attendance before you write the exam. And in my days, we don't hear things like that because they force you to go to class. I mean, full time students, today, not time.
Even at that time.
You now say, okay, we must be even with that threat, like in quote, they will still not come. And then you now give them marking scheme. Is it not what you have given them that I get you back?
Okay.
I have an observation and comment about that. I remember my student, unfortunately, the course I taught them. So I gave them markings, I gave them a course outline. After the class, after the whole class outline, I also set the examples and put the marking line. And I also gave them area of concentration. There's a term used in your presentation.
Yes.
Yeah. So, you know what the student do? Since I'm giving them area of concentration, if some of them who are very common just went to that material and did something change the exam after this, put it or write it inside of sheet of paper, pocket it, bring it, they brought it in during the exam. They thought they are going to give it to the back. However, when I'm presenting my question, it's not basically applied question.
Yeah.
You can't have it same way. So when they now saw the exam question, they were not confounded. Those who don't. So inside the exam hall, you are just seeing schools of paper reporting. So 15 minutes you have people in the exam. So that tells you that they don't have the knowledge. They just want to give it to me back. But because they cannot apply it, it becomes useless. So learning is key in this sense. Anytime we do it, they must be able to apply and learn. Thank you.
I think there is need to deconceptualize what we mean by marking scheme. Are we together?
Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
Marking scheme, marking guide, and condition of grading. Condition of grading is totally different from marking scheme. Now, one contains guiding contents, the other does not contain marking, contents. Now, about condition of guide, condition of grading, this is so question, 5 points, 10 marks. That is condition of grading. That will be disclosed. Okay? If students provide 5 points here, it is 20 marks, which is also indicated in standard examination question.
Yeah, that's
So it goes with it. Question of grading. Okay, question 1. A. Also, what is define equal to 3 marks. Explain what is equal to 2 marks. Now, when you define what is equal to, then decide what is 2 marks. The grade condition goes to the standard question. So there's no way they can. Yeah, maybe it's a wrong use of the expression here that the marking guide or master scheme should be imposed. Or maybe
The description is what you describe is what I think the men
marking.
of course. But all my questions, all my questions follow that.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
And in fact, that's good. It was one of the things I told students. I said, okay, some of you will see 15 marks approaching to a question. You will use 5 lines. Not necessarily about the number of lines. And somebody will see 5 marks in a question. Use 3 pages. Excuse me. You know, the time you spend and the point or what you expect to do on the question is guided by that and what the number of the marks are awarded to them. I think I always apportion the marks.
I think one of the problems we're having is the degrading of the teacher training. That's why I have some. Most courses that they're supposed to do to become a well-grounded trained teacher. Some institutions are not offering some courses like measurement evaluation. Some people are not doing it. Some people are not doing it. Some institutions or some are not doing technology.
In the field of
They are
education,
not doing micro
they are not doing it. So, and the standard of education,
BMAS or
CC mass,
CC
just
hold on now. You know, this CC mass of 18, there is a quotation from the university. There is a quotation that NUC give. Who are these? Who are those in NUC that is giving the kind of professors? Some of them is not in what is going on now because they have leg and hand in politics. They bring them to come and be. Then the institution themselves in our school now, there is this course they do in their 200 and they call ST 202, Introduction to Educational Resources. That is where those that come for degree you get to know what is as a teacher. You learn, educate, and all what it takes. Like media you can use because it's embedded in there in that course. This section now, that will they said you have problem. They might have said this, they might have said that. Present 200 level and present 200 level. I don't even know the curriculum that they are doing because of that system. Then that institutional something that is now making bad. Not why that there's no how in faculty of education in the University of Ibadan can exist without education. I've never seen it. Even if it's a small course, the way people are saying it, those that are dying butterfly, people that are painting flowers, they still is lacking there. In that lower level he's talking about now. These are our students who go to the classes. They don't know what is.
They cannot even write the PR lesson plan. Some of them are not doing
So, I
need to deal with you.
Yeah, no, it is you. Everything there. Are you asking a question?
I'm touching.
You are free to your
The way curriculum is being not at this stage, it's very disturbing. In the name of trying to improve it, they are destroying it.
What kind of recompense?
Yeah, so you prepare that.
Sir, like I normally tell them here, this is my own offense. When we are doing this, I quit. Those that read beauty.
Are you talking about me?
They are not cats, they are not carrying.
We got him bricklaying.
Sorry, they are not cats. Are you trying to threaten us?
When we are passing, this department,
Like their food, you know them now.
this department, there's one small department here. See, it's attached to the hall. The only hall we go there when we are there. All these places are where we are playing. We go and do our standing and doing, go talking. Then agree people cultivate skill. These days, when I get sometimes I shake tears to pass this mobile area. Because I know that people that have harbored in my room, in their room when I was 100 and 200 level, they are in that department. You will see Vicky there. It's not too vehicle. We used to come and see. You see those that live in they are doing. And when you come here now, people in this fine art, you see students under the sun.
Yeah.
Because you see them in their drawing.
Yeah, I agree. They are practical.
But today, I don't know what is going on.
No, they are even we have more. We have more than. The unfortunate thing here is
They use AI.
No.
They
We
have
have I read mechanical. No, I read mechanical. In my class, then I think we were about 28.
So let me submit my
So, like I was saying, the problem we have with this guidance or market scheme that most people don't even know how to set questions. Some will tell you that the market guidance must contain the whole answer. That somebody else will be able to mark it if you are not present. So if that thing now get to where that can help. So market scheme does not
Is it
to
not
me.
the training they have?
So to me, market scheme is not providing the whole answer to the question. Sure. Insights. What's insight? That's why it is key, not answers. But some people don't understand. I know the way you explain is to answer it. No, it's not.
Sometimes
It's key.
it depends on the model. For example, we run University of Ibadan program as a degree program. Sometimes when these questions go for modulations, you see when it's coming back, some of them will carry leg and the hand. In the name of that,
You carry what?
head and hand. In the name of that, because we are college of education, you know, this discrepancy in Nigeria, we are having people from colleges of education, their lecturers are not standard.
No. You so it's like you challenge with authority. I said the question, and somebody, a professor questioned it, and the senior for you was telling that I don't know what he said is wrong. I said I'm a professor. I said he doesn't know everything. He said he knows everything. I asked him a simple question: does he know my mother's maiden name? Silence. You need to put your authority. See, what did I do? I asked them to
Anyway, we have said in our own case, we cannot come to this kind
and I maintain my standard. This is what I said. It was to be.
They understand. We are being who are
educated.
That is it.
challenging them.
Sincerely, you
And those people
that may practically negate the essence of that ambition. If you are not ready, clear that you said the question, you are the answer and you of. The more importantly, you should give collaborative thing. No, you get what I say. It's not like this, understood. It happens to us yesterday. I was the first head of the department for your everything and before we transited to the you suffer the same thing. That we set question and then the report that we are pumping when the time they are returning it to us will be so bad and make it happen.
But that, sorry, what I'm saying,
Wait,
it's not a must.
Wait,
That they comply with the observation.
But it will be discussed. That is the
So we discuss the
we have on several occasions to even oppose many of their recommendations, and when they come around for supervision of examination and some other things, we discuss some of this. In fact, we raise some of these ideas and agenda and some other things. So
I said question on the difference between chalkboard and the blackboard, and tell you between the chalkboard to the blackboard. Then no, I'm talking about professional expression and the what do you call it?
let's not
Like the blackboard.
is it our phrase that we are using now?
Yes.
So we are using our grace.
So anyway,
But what is OER? What is the UNESCO?
In fact, this discrepancy in Nigeria is
No. When you do that, madam, when you do something you establish your authority. That's if you are sure of yourself.
it's not a matter of expression.
No.
What we say.
No. If you
What
are
you say,
can you just find yourself to be an article if or adventure or electronic? That's how it happens. That's somebody in the exam that probably right. It's not really your political availability. That's not that I'm asking the question. I now tell you that because a professor from linguistics is coming, and now is that what you say? And when the professor you have to present technology, you let him know that you are a professor in a micro area, and it's not your that you're talking about.
Yes.
So,
I understand.
then when you have dating, and you tell them questions, you will now probably say that, oh, this is also up to that standard. But if you don't have this thing for standard, you have not gotten
It's when you have it that you can.
No, it's when you have it and you are sure of yourself
Exactly.
that you watch what you are doing.
Yes.
Then when you are police. So that is it. But if you don't get that, then go do that. It has happened a lot of times. And you see some people when they come alive. But now when people are still they don't have to and again,
They will not offensive to their society.
when you see that, you don't have to do it.
I think it's not.
Or even at the back of your not there. When you see your name on you don't go into the right. Oh. Yes, my friend.
Then they say I don't
This one is like
there was a particular day that they call that then people are like doing that.
because it has been a long time. Even all the time I was running all this program. After that, honestly, I know that it is a program that made them to take care of themselves. So I don't know whether they have, because they said they have finished and they don't get it was giving family problem. So as long as I discovered the day it's not asked to get sick. So on the process they said that I know it's like that's their own comment. What to do? And I tried to be
You know, it's a little bit of definition. I don't even know that balance.
Who was it? This one of the inside is like, all the secrets of the not that's why I told them that say whatever is going on, if my mineral fish is on my throat, I don't have
Hello, I'm not the one knowing that now. She's the one talking.
I said yes, so that's why I asked you.
You are gender bias.
We don't know that.
You are gender bias. What's the bro? Where's that?
No, you can take two of it.
Two of it.
Yes.
And the one that is even close to river, if you don't get that, it's over.
and you look like yes.
You can become closer to the river state. Yeah, don't get it back. Now, so. Right on it. Right now, you are adult. We are most our current MC are yes.
He was using like time like 2 minutes. He sent someone to call me when I go to the
Please, can we also establish our own university? Can we not our university?
And it's up to this person. It's not.
But the type of university what's the story?
he said, I know
When are they there? They are getting over
to okay. Yes, I think
who read technical education?
who read biology?
Biology? Yeah, you your course is below. Why do you know?
She's saying that she said
You also. Very not good. Madam, very not good. Going today. This party.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, exactly. Yes, yes.
So, presidency. Next, we have to.
Hello, everybody. Don't let children see your hand. You will need to speak to the fight. Mommy, why are you like this? Mommy, why are you like this, please? I said,
See, Osman Harrow.
I think we are going to go so that.
Yes, that's.
Yes, so. Then one time the students come with us.
It's going to be in the morning. So
By what time? Because they're asking me.
Night. It's going to be night. So that we can release them the math by one. We don't want to take too much of the time.
You will up here.
Now
Because they may be like that. Not like that.
Yes, no, we will sort that one out. So we send an information part. So I said yes, and since we have their email address, so just tell them to check their email. Then their phone numbers too. We send the details to their phone numbers.
I like this type of movie too.
Hello. Yeah.
too. Even down on ground. You will let it start. It will do.
All right, done.
So, what where you are high, my name
UNESCO.
What is that? What is that? I'm not that. I don't know.
UNESCO.
I don't know. I don't know. But God is my friend. You want to talk about it?
Yes, sir.
2019 recommendation on open educational resources highlights the critical importance of open licenses. Open licenses are foundational to open educational resources, or OER. Open licensing must be done correctly, or OER doesn't work. But what is OER? What is an open license? OER are learning, teaching, and research materials in any format and medium that reside in the public domain or are under copyright that have been released under an open license that permits no-cost access, reuse, repurposing, adaptation, and redistribution by others. Open license refers to a license that respects the intellectual property rights of the copyright owner and provides permissions granting the public the rights to access, reuse, repurpose, adapt, and redistribute educational materials. To do open licensing correctly, we need to use standard international open licenses. The most commonly used international licenses are the Creative Commons licenses. Creative Commons provides an internationally recognized means for everyone, from individual creators to large institutions, a standardized way to openly license educational content and give others the permissions to access, reuse, repurpose, adapt, and redistribute educational resources and other digital public goods. CC licenses are available in 48 languages. Creative Commons, or CC, is a nonprofit organization, is the global steward for open licenses, was founded in 2001, operates worldwide, and is supported by a global network of experts in countries all over the world. CC licenses have been dedicated to the public domain and are therefore free to use forever. CC licenses have been proven over time, are the international standard for open licensing, are built on top of and respect copyright law, have never lost in a court of law. Creative Commons is dedicated to opening up knowledge, including open educational resources, to serve the public interest. CC cares deeply about ensuring all people have equitable access to learning opportunities and can participate in knowledge building and sharing. CC has 6 open licenses and 2 public domain tools. There are multiple open license choices to open your educational resources. To learn more on how to use CC licenses, go to creative-commons.org/share-your-work/CC licenses. Creative Commons proudly puts the open in OER. The world's OER are CC licensed. If you don't see an open license on a free resource, it is not an OER. Let the CC licenses work for you. CC licenses grant clear, standard legal permissions to the public. CC licensed content in one country can be legally used in every country. These standard licensing terms reduce transaction costs and facilitate broad OER reuse. If we are going to successfully implement the UNESCO recommendation on OER and meet the other goals of the 2030 UN Sustainable Development Agenda, we need more reuse, more sharing, and more adaptations of quality OER in the public interest. Creative Commons has been supporting governments and educational institutions in understanding and using CC open licenses for more than 20 years. Are you ready to start implementing the UNESCO recommendation on OER? Creative Commons can help. Please learn more at our website, www.creativecommons.org, or contact us directly at learning@creativecommons.org.
All right. So, I'll replay this so that because that's so many information in it that I want to draw attention to. So, okay, while we get settled, now, how we came about this program, I'm supposed to talk about that later on, but I'll just quickly share. We belong to a Creative Commons. There's a global network and there's an open education platform that normally everyone's supposed to be a stakeholder in open education, because either we are able to even learn what is going on or we want to go further to so I'm going to give us the brief listen. But now open education, there's Creative Commons open education platform. It's like a list in which information about open education projects and all that with Creative Commons. Now, this video, we are going to see a bit about the Creative Commons organization and the license. So, the licenses will bring us to Creative Commons. Now, we talked about open education. So, that's the foundation. We talked about open education, we talked about open educational resources. Now, inside open educational resources, we saw there that there is the case of the license. Now, we're not talking about the license. So, how did the license come about? How do we now have to start to talk about open licenses? There have been some open licenses in some other fields, like in software. In software, there's something called open source software. That was why we were able to have things like Linux, the Ubuntu software that we have, even the Android software, and a lot. When we start to make use of our Gmails and Yahoo Mails and all of those things, there's still a form of openness that they added to it in a way that make it possible for us to be able to make use of it freely. So now, from those software terms, they brought it into education, and that's why we now have the open licenses in education as well. So now this video talks about that. Interestingly, I led the team that produced this video. It was just launched early this year. We worked with the Creative Commons to actually make sure that to make the video, and it's even very good for us because now it's something concise and we're going to learn it. I'll still share it with us after this presentation. Let me play it one more time so that.
The UNESCO 2019 recommendation on open educational resources highlights the critical importance of open licenses. Open licenses are foundational to open educational resources, or OER. Open licensing must be done correctly, or OER doesn't work. But what is OER? What is an open license? OER are learning, teaching, and research materials in any format and medium that reside in the public domain or are under copyright that have been released under an open license that permits no-cost access, reuse, repurposing, adaptation, and redistribution by others. Open license refers to a license that respects the intellectual property rights of the copyright owner and provides permissions granting the public the rights to access, reuse, repurpose, adapt, and redistribute educational materials. To do open licensing correctly, we need to use standard international open licenses. The most commonly used international licenses are the Creative Commons licenses. Creative Commons provides an internationally recognized.
But the first time it played, it wasn't like that.
It's acting back, but I'll play one that will render already. So let me do some. I'm going to give us
This video will introduce you to Creative Commons licenses, which make copyright easier to understand. Let's say you create something. This thing could be creative, like the picture of your cat, or scholarly, like an essay about cats. Because you are the creator of this picture or essay, copyright allows you to decide what people can do with your creation. When you are the copyright holder, people have to ask you for permission before putting your cat picture into a PowerPoint or adapting your cat essay into a movie. Getting permission can be time-consuming and complicated for both the creator and the user. This is where Creative Commons can help. Creative Commons exists to make permissions explicit and straightforward. Creative Commons licenses use icons and simple language so that creators can make their intentions clear and users can be certain that their use of a work is legal. These different licenses help people understand if and how they can use, share, or build on a work. This icon means that only non-commercial uses are permitted, so no one can profit from using your picture. This icon means that no one can make changes to the original work, such as photoshopping a dog into your cat picture. This icon means that someone can change your work, but their version must be shared under the same license as yours. All Creative Commons licenses give credit to the original creator, preserving your reputation as a creative genius while the world engages with your work. Licenses can be attached to most things, including blog posts, images, artworks, journal articles, and more. To learn more about Creative Commons licenses, visit the Creative Commons website or check out some of the other videos in our series.
It introduced
there. Sure.
2019 recommendation on open educational resources highlights the critical importance of open licenses. Open licenses are foundational to open educational resources, or OER. Open licensing must be done correctly, or OER doesn't work. But what is OER? What is an open license? OER are learning, teaching, and research materials in any format and medium that reside in the public domain or are under copyright that have been released under an open license that permits no-cost access, reuse, repurposing, adaptation, and redistribution by others. Open license refers to a license that respects the intellectual property rights of the copyright owner and provides permissions granting the public the rights to access, reuse, repurpose, adapt, and redistribute educational materials. To do open licensing correctly, we need to use standard international open licenses. The most commonly used international licenses are the Creative Commons licenses. Creative Commons provides an internationally recognized means for everyone, from individual creators to large institutions, a standardized way to openly license educational content and give others the permissions to access, reuse, repurpose, adapt, and redistribute educational resources and other digital public goods. CC licenses are available in 48 languages. Creative Commons, or CC, is a nonprofit organization, is the global steward for open licenses, was founded in 2001, operates worldwide, and is supported by a global network of experts in countries all over the world. CC licenses have been dedicated to the public domain and are therefore free to use forever. CC licenses have been proven over time, are the international standard for open licensing, are built on top of and respect copyright law, have never lost in a court of law. Creative Commons is dedicated to opening up knowledge, including open educational resources, to serve the public interest. CC cares deeply about ensuring all people have equitable access to learning opportunities and can participate in knowledge building and sharing. CC has 6 open licenses and 2 public domain tools. There are multiple open license choices to open your educational resources. To learn more on how to use CC licenses, go to creativecommons.org/share-your-work/CC licenses. Creative Commons proudly puts the open in OER. The world's OER are CC licensed. If you don't see an open license on a free resource, it is not an OER. Let the CC licenses work for you. CC licenses grant clear, standard legal permissions to the public. CC licensed content in one country can be legally used in every country. These standard open licensing terms reduce transaction costs and facilitate broad OER reuse. If we are going to successfully implement the UNESCO recommendation on OER and meet the other goals of the 2030 UN Sustainable Development Agenda, we need more reuse, more sharing, and more adaptations of quality OER in the public interest. Creative Commons has been supporting governments and educational institutions in understanding and using CC open licenses for more than 20 years. Are you ready to start implementing the UNESCO recommendation on OER? Creative Commons can help. Please learn more at our website, www.creativecommons.org, or contact us directly at learning@creativecommons.org.
Okay, so now, quickly, that video, sorry for, I think the network too, the sound file is, yeah, the media file is, so that's fine. But in that video, at least we're actually watching, let me ask the first question. I don't know how to take anything from this, from that video. This one, not the other one that I shared. This particular one. What is the yes, it's still, you know, that I shared the one before I shared this one later. So this one has more information. How about just based on the licensing school, You understand? So I still have one license. Now, the open license. So I was asking, what did we pick up from it? Just the 30 seconds. I wanted to know if we really got something. So I will not have to. All right, go ahead.
I picked seeing if you want to achieve the UNESCO sustainability.
OER recommendation. Yes. Recommendation OER.
We have to put more focus on the open license and be able to reduce, to share and to adapt to the information given by the UNESCO.
Reuse, you were talking about reuse, repurpose, adapt,
Sharing.
share, exactly. All right, so
So the licensing button from one country and using from another one.
exactly. Yeah, open the Creative Commons license is used, it's been adopted, I think it's been added to legal framework of over 48 countries. That's the kind of stuff. I mean, across board, but said it's not 48 languages, sorry. So, but the way the Creative Commons was designed, it was placed together to work with the legal system of countries. So that now with the intellectual property system that's already in place, the Creative Commons license can easily be integrated into it, and it will not cause chaos. It's another law we are bringing. So that's what Creative Commons tends to do, because they know, especially when it comes to education matters. It's a challenging one, when people start saying that they go for updates on free, what the licenses that were made in this place is not applicable, so you can't use this. How many of us have watched videos before on YouTube that tell you that this video is not allowed in particular country? Yeah, exactly. So that's exactly right. So now, that means the license can come to legislate to those countries. So that's why when you do all those things,
Even some open resources, they tell you that it's not going to be so starting on.
so that's what so
Okay, you also made mention of some logos
okay.
that when you see it, what they stand in.
Yes.
There's a particular one that you can add. There's a particular one, nothing can be added to the. I think 3 of them, but I didn't get the first one.
All right. thank you very much for that. You are.
The author still retain ownership to his work.
Yes, that's it. So that's it. Now, the Creative Commons license, because they are open license. Now, they've been able to break it down. So we have 6 licenses and 2 licenses for public domain. There's one we call public domain. Now, the reason about this is your students are going to learn this in their course. So it's part of what they are. So each of those logos that you saw has a meaning. So we start on the CC BY to CC BY SA to CC BY NC to CC BY NCNG. Then it goes from the most open. So it goes from the most open to the most restricted, that is close to copyright. So now, what they did with the open license, with CC license, is that they know copyright exists. So now, to make sure that they give creators opportunity to operate in the open, it's now like they now create what this means that they call it continuum. Continuum means now something is from here to here. So now this is directly the opposite of this. So, but when it starts to move, it's either it starts to get more locked
or when you move from a style to get more open. So this is the most open, this is closed, this is open. So in between, you can play around with it that, okay, so what that means is this. If it is closed, that means nobody can make money from the product, from what you create. That is copyright. They can, if you seize them, usually you will charge them. So that is copyright. That's on the end of the spectrum. But now we now have a scenario whereby you can release the material and say, do whatever you like with it. So that's the most open. Do whatever you like. Either you like make money with it, you like share, you like twist it, change it, and all of those things. I have released it. So that's the most open. So and we use that's we call it CC BY. Now, but between CC BY and the closed, now between the open and the closed, we now created other licenses in between. So those licenses that are now in between, now people can now decide, okay, I want people to make money with this, but I don't want them to change what the content is. So at the end of it, like he was talking about downloading lesson plan the other time. That person, if it is that he wants the lesson plan to be used, that you can do, but just let it be that way. There's a license for that. There is one that, so I'm going to play the video. There's a 5 minute video that still goes to and you run up license. So now, there is one that, okay, you are not allowed to make money. Just share it, but don't make money with it. If you make money with it, you are talking. So that one is non-commercial. One is non-derivative, one is non-commercial. So, and there is one that, okay, this is how I use it to share it the same way. Okay, if either you make money or don't make money, I don't care. But share it exactly the same way. Share alike. So that is what the different licenses that we have. So now with that, they are
under CC.
Yes, yeah, it's CC. That is one of the main work of the CC.
The connection.
Yes, so CC is like they have 3 areas. It's an evaluation, it's about licensing, and it's also a movement. That's how they put it. So now that licensing part is the key. That okay, we make these licenses available, especially for they are so much into education. Not that they are not into other things, culture, arts, and all of those things. So they are so much into education. So and they have helped a lot in making sure that resources, some educational resources are easily available to us. That and then they have creators in attack. Educators are the ones that are main focus. So that's what CCI it's not for profit organization. So it's actually based in it's based in the US, but most of the people that work with CC, they work from different parts of the world. So they work like the virtual work is one of their, in fact, that's how they work the most. So but now what they have helped us to do with open licensing is what is the key. So now I'm going to play, this is going to be the last video I'm going to play, and then we'll be rounding up for some winding up. It's so if you have a question,
yeah, I have a question.
All right, sir.
About where you are giving the expression of some are open, and then open. And some are restricted to a point of openness. Now, those ones that are open, I'm looking at the contents. Are they also as of quality like the one that is restricted?
Okay, good. Now, to make open educational resources, one of the things that
is being advocated so much is that because you are making a resource open does not mean that it will not be competitive. In fact, you need to at least what happens is this, and that's why they encourage it, that you should make it open so that when you release your resource, anybody that sees it at least is able to critique it and then make it better. Because there's no resource that you release that is absolute, that this is the final authority. There's nothing that can be added to it. There's no resource like that. Every resource needs continual improvement, push up. That's where creativity, innovation comes in. So the aspect of helping people to be able to develop from wherever they are, even if what you have is a good thing that is not well defined, if you release it, someone will be able to pick one thing they are able to expand the quality or the possibility of what it's able to do. So that's the situation, and that's the difference between someone running a closed product because of creation. Because now, if it is closed, either it is quality or non-quality. And then when we talk about quality assurance of what people create, it is relative. Within our institution, I don't know if our policy assurance is subjective, but anywhere human beings are, there is a level of subjection that things will be, that if you produce something, if it is hard, and my people, they will just bypass and then, so it won't be critiqued the way it's supposed to, and it might not really deliver on the quality. So, but if it is the open, it's better, because now it's there. Anyone that releases something in open, you are not too much, except you have a restricted license. You are not too much careful of the fact that people will pick it up and say, okay, they wanted to add or make it better or something like that. You are even looking forward to that so that you look at that. Someone has made use of the work, because now there's something that is key in open license called attribution. Attribution is like the references that we educators know. So for every work that you make use of, and that's part of what your students are going to learn, they are learning the course too. Now, attribution is very, very important for education. Now, people must be able to attribute the words and it. So if you make it, it's not like when you write the paper, you have to reference whatever materials you make use of. You don't reference, that means you are stealing. So that's what you do. So in open education, in using open licenses, they ensure that when you use, is either the attribution is there, you do not remove it. Like as I'm playing all these videos, we are seeing the organization, what the names are, and all of those things like that. So if it's going to be used in a document, I have to effectively say, okay, this was made from Core, this was made from CC, and all of those things like that. So attribution is key for everyone. So now, even if you now produce something that's not, as long as someone has attributed it, it does actually show that they have picked something from your work that is valuable, and that value is the key.
So I have two questions.
All right, go ahead.
The first one is the part of the repurposing.
Okay.
So if I have the content, and if you have I download a material from OER and I repurpose it,
okay,
does that give me the right to ownership because I have repurposed the material?
Now, what the first thing is that when you repurpose,
yeah,
the license of the material that you repurpose is what you need to know first. I have, for that question, let me share, before I share the video, let me share a particular image for us. Now, with, based on what you asked, it's very, very straightforward.
and my second question.
Go ahead, sir.
Recently, federal government through the NUC and the Ministry of Education are saying that all final year students now are going to be uploading their final year project online. I think on NYSC portal.
NYSC.
Portal for them to be able to proceed for NYSC. You see those, yes, those projects and our names as lecturers, our names will be there. So those material, I'm thinking in my mind that they are going to be open resource as time goes on. Then the intellectual property, what happens to it? Is it, are they going to make reference to these people, the lecturers that are going to work with students, or government through the NUC and Ministry of Education are going to take absolute ownership?
Okay, so the second question is about what just asked now. That is the reason why we had the discussion that we had before. That whatever policy that is going to determine it needs to be discussed. So now, like what they are aiming at now, on what right, intellectual property rights, are they telling people to upload?
So it's a requirement for them to go to service. If they don't upload now,
I
they
thought
don't
we
go
just said the evidence of not their
From what I read, education minister saying that a lot of these innovations are embedded.
Okay,
and it's just lying fine. Now they want to see evidence that they have done it.
So
when they upload it,
so that they'll be able to take out the
at the end of the day, I don't trust this government.
and they are nobody trusts them.
So
Okay.
what happens to those?
Now, so that question means that, like the type of conversation we are having, it's supposed to, they are supposed to bring it down to the level of diagnosis. Because now you are part of every project that is being submitted. The lecturer is a core part of it. Because we actually went through your supervision to have. Now, what happened is this. We need to now ask the question. They should submit on what platform? Who is going to have access to the platform? Now, is it just for them to go to service? And is that just the end result? Or there is more to it? Now, are you going to now release the information to the public or not? Because now, because we need to ask questions. If you have a good idea, you need to know where you want to end goal. Now, is it not that someone will have access to that database? I will now be sending that backup to other people. Or you send it because now, some of those ideas, companies can come and buy it. And then they will use it and the person that came up with that idea will not get extra of it. So we need to ask questions. Now, and that's
If you ask question, they do not answer.
No, I think we start from our institutional.
we are from institutional level. Now, if you're right. If an institutional because the institution must accept to that. If the institution does not accept, nothing will happen. But the institution should ask.
To give it a good fight, it should come from us. Because if you say from an institution, institution has non-academic staff, they don't supervise projects. Okay? So this thing will come up from the ASU, from the institutional level, before you now go to the body, to the general body, before you start to level. Without us channeling it, I don't think it will make way. Because what government is doing, government is just looking for a way of shortcuts. And not that they are going to use those things there. It's just to prove that they have the information, not that they are going to use it.
In fact, the truth of the matter is, it can be someone's idea that someone wants to see. I just explain without really understanding.
Because I normally say this integrated science we read in the secondary school and primary school. If you Google it now in your phone, you will see that it is a prerequisite for some universities. that any student that enters university must do it as a wide course. You know, we are doing GAC courses. In fact, it runs in so many universities like that. But in Nigeria, you see it, when you say that you read integrated exams, people will be laughing at you. But when I went further to know why it is like that in those areas, they told me that this curriculum we are having in Nigeria today now, that children are no more doing biology as a major course. They don't know about their health. But this integrated science now, if they do it, they will know small knowledge about science because it goes across different sciences.
Yes.
So you understand? But in Nigeria now, people will go and bring it out. In fact, I remember when one ex professor at Unilag, that read physics education before he died, he was laughing at those that read the integrated science. He said, basic science, basic technology, basic. He was very caricature of them. Sometimes policies we have a lot of things. Policies we have in Nigeria. Implementation is always problem. And where the people are coming from, the people that copy it from are coming from, is what they do not know. Is there any product they are copying?
Of course, that is what you are really good at. That I was raising my hand. That have we forgotten recently this curriculum, this secondary curriculum?
This year now, new curriculum
mathematics is not compulsory. Before, where is that person coming from? No, that's not compulsory.
I heard them today now.
Yeah, they turned it back because they brought it back. In those days, when we were at school, arts, you said you must have P7 pass for humanities. Then the sciences, credit and above. Now, that one has been in. Then you go back to credit everybody. It puts everybody on their toes. Because somebody is coming back to say it's not necessary. You see, these are you made a statement, and Madam made a statement. I don't trust them. I don't trust them. Somebody probably want to say something. Yes. Bring it that into the curriculum. For example, my states, when I finish, we know where. Somebody was a governor, and they said, basic 1 to 9, give 1 number. Excuse me, and then I don't know using principle or ethics. The concept of basic 1 to 9 is the content, not the location. Now, but to leave this individual just to make me using universe and then change it to Kampala. It's one at the red kind of and then you are in the same. That is one sales, and then it's the one of it's uniform free. That's the concept. You not be free. Don't go that. I know the details now. It's not about this. But after some time, another government came. Return back to normal. It's a confused one. That's the confused one.
In Lagos State,
the new governor returned the.
In Lagos State,
primary school exists where you are. Then the junior school exists there.
In Lagos State presently now, yes, primary school is where they are. But if you get to the secondary school, you will say that they have junior and the senior. And junior has a full principal, vice principal running for it. Senior has, when you were in school, is it like that?
No, they use that one.
Well, I think that one, I think
they use that one
because that's a different thing. But junior is a terminal. It's another terminal class. This is just a step. Excuse me, when I was in GS3, Form 3, then that was when from 4. That was when this the system to repurpose them. All those local government buildings that we have, I mean, mechanical building, I don't know what they call them there. They brought so much
Introductory technology.
basic tech, all those. Where are they?
When they
They are there.
yes,
In my,
They're exploring them.
my set started.
So let's go back. What I'm saying is that I don't know what to do. Uploading student results or
There'll be a serious fight on that one.
then
You have not started to fight.
no project.
Yes,
There's no place
It's a
just
serious
like
one.
that's how much they have set the bottom for what it is. It's a good thing, but let us know what it is. Then the operational you have to make this thing work. Why would you just let us say hey, do it? No. But everybody's talking about the that's why it's the source of this thing. So to go to your first question. Now this is the answer to your first question. Now, when you use you are talking about the purpose. So you see now, maybe it's not big enough, but good. Now, this is public domain. This is CC0. We call this CC0, but it's public domain too as well. So that's where. So then we now have the licenses up to the most restrictive. This is more like copyright. You understand? So now it's telling you now that what you can use to repurpose should be the license that is similar or lower. So like all these ones now, you can still repurpose with them that they had check marks. But the ones that you can't
Make use of it.
yeah, you can't because now if you like this one, this is the one. In fact, majorly 1, 2, 3.
Sorry. Can you expand this?
Okay, share the image.
So that we can see the on your
I'm coming. Let me. There's okay. I think I did a setting. I'm coming. There was actually a setting that I did. Is it?
I need the zoom from the system itself.
Okay, the zoom.
From the system.
Okay. You know, this one, I've said it's full screen. You understand? So that's the shot. Okay, what I can do is this. I'm coming.
Exactly what I'm saying. There's a way to do it. Should be this Google.
Is it?
This Google Chrome.
Yeah. Cool. Okay.
Going to
Okay, I'll expand this.
Exactly. So zoom it very well.
This is, yeah, it's it's not zooming what I wanted to zoom to. Okay, it's not zooming. Let's just return it back. What I'm going to do is this. I'll share
to various.
Yes. So sorry, I'll share this particular one. Let me just quickly explain it so that we do not take our time. All right. So you would see it better by the time you see the. I have the image file. I'll just share it so we'll be able to expand it. So now, this CC by is the one that you can actually use to repurpose, basically. But by the time you get to share alike, when some tell you that you share alike,
What that means is that don't, you can make this, reduce that way. So don't try to multiply, but you can add it, but where you're proposing that something that particular machine can add it to another one. Okay? The one you read is exactly the way it is. Then you can add another one to it. You understand? So we are still sharing it, but you have actually added your own thing. You understand? So, but when you repurpose that means you want to split that thing. Split it, remove the edge and put another one, and that's so but this CC BY allows you. So there's only give CC BY, then you can repurpose, change it, and all of those things like that. Just give the attribution. Tell us that there's something here. I think the other video will show us that. So let me quickly play down that so we can. Why
Let me just ask a learning question.
All right, go ahead, sir.
Can open educational resource carry more than one license?
It's not. No, it shouldn't carry more than one license because at every point in time it will conflict each other at some point.
That
Yes.
they should be able to carry compatible licenses.
Now, what happened is this. If you
Have you
want to
ever
carry
wondered
more
how
than-
to download and share digital?
If you want to carry more than one license, it must be a license that does not complete.
That's what I'm saying.
Because if it's complete, then
That's what I'm saying.
And it must fit into those.
yes.
That's possible for an open resource to carry more than one license.
So they have their own framework.
No, as far as they are not conflict, it's possible. For example, now, you can have share alike, at the same time, you can have the purpose. As a way, you can drive, you can purpose it, you can
Make derivative out of it.
If I share I can see which one.
Yes.
So there are some that can combine.
Yes. So let's quickly listen to
digital content legally? How do you let people know that you want them to reuse your own work? Creative Commons licenses can help you do both. We'll show you how. Our world's exploded with digital opportunities. Now we can communicate, share, and work together using the exceptional distribution network that is the internet. Information and content can fly between us in exciting new ways. But it's important to know that when something is created, say a photo, a document, or a music track, it's automatically protected by copyright. Copyright enables people to say who can share and reuse their creations. You must always obtain someone's permission before sharing or reusing their work, even when it's posted online. But what if a creator wants everyone to use their work, without the hassle of granting permission over and over? This is where Creative Commons can help. Creative Commons provides licensing tools that are free to use. You can apply a license to your work, which refines your copyright and streamlines how you give permission. Zach here downloads a photo called CC Kiwi that he wants to use in his science project. He can do this without asking Kiri, the photographer, first, because she's already given permission with a Creative Commons license. Kiri's license is legally robust, but easy for Zach to understand. She's told the world, including Zach, that they can use CC Kiwi as long as they acknowledge her as the original photographer. There are more rules Kiri could have included. Creative Commons licenses are made up of license elements. You can think of them as rules, and each have their own special symbol. This is attribution. It means that Zach must acknowledge Kiri when he publishes his science project containing her photo. This is non-commercial. It means no one else but Kiri is permitted to make money from CC Kiwi. Tim wants to print the photo onto t-shirts and distribute them to friends. He can do this, but he must not sell them. This is no derivatives.
And it means that Kiri hasn't given permission to change her photo. Kate can use CC Kiwi on her design blog, but will need to ask Kiri before retouching or mixing up the image. And this is share alike. It means new creations that use CC Kiwi need to carry the same license. Jack incorporates his own remix of CC Kiwi in his video installation, but he must share the work under the same terms that Kiri has. Each Creative Commons license gives permission to share and includes the attribution rule. So people who find your Creative Commons licensed work are automatically allowed to share it, but are required to acknowledge you if they do. The other 3 license elements are optional, and you can choose which ones to add, if any. Here are the 6 combinations that make up Creative Commons licenses. The difference between them is how many rules apply when someone wishes to use your work. The attribution license allows reusers the most freedom, and the attribution non-commercial no derivatives license allows the least freedom. The attribution license and the attribution share alike licenses are sometimes referred to as Free Cultural Works approved licenses. These 3 licenses restrict commercial use of a work. And these 2 licenses do not give permission for adapting or remixing. These 2 licenses require new works to be licensed under the same terms. To choose and apply one of these licenses, and to view their terms in more detail, visit us at creativecommons.org.nz. Or you can answer some questions to help you decide which license best suits your needs at creativecommons.org/choose. There are some good ways to find other people's Creative Commons licensed work online. You can use a search filter by going to the Creative Commons website. Or why not try the Jamendo website for music, Flickr for images, or Digital NZ for New Zealand content. Using Creative Commons licenses could help your creations reach more people. Maybe you want to connect with others across the globe and take turns at improving a report. Or maybe you just want to have fun, remixing someone else's work. Whatever reason you have to share your work, you'll find there are scientists, educators, companies, and public agencies who are using Creative Commons. By opening up permission, just imagine how much we can achieve. Collaborating on what we hold in common, being open about big decisions, and finding solutions in the spaces between us. Let's work together, confidently and legally. It's good to share with Creative Commons.
Okay, so I think this further explains the licenses to a certain extent, and it showed us how those licenses are actually work. And what I was talking about consonant the other time, it showed that figure that is gave, so it showed us the end to end. So, all right. Okay, good. Yeah. BY is it's the word that is used for attribution. BY. So under BY, you see that it's like the drawing like a man in yes. So that's attribution. So that we call that attribution. Now, SA is share alike. FC is non-commercial. Then NG is non-derivative. So I think those are the 4.
So is that blue one not by producer?
We use this for attribution. So what that means is that for, and now I was thinking about attribution the other time. So for every of the licenses, we always want to give attribution. Even if you repurpose, even if you use someone else, as long as it's another person to
What do you say is B1?
attribution. Attribution.
What does it say?
Share alike. Yes, share alike.
ND.
ND, non-derivative. Non-derivative.
Only 3.
You said? NC, non-commercial. Non-commercial, NC.
What of that CC by, no, that CC by is free, it's a freedom store. So what do you know that CC?
The CC is Creative Commons.
Oh, okay.
So that is CC. CC is Creative Commons. So anytime you use like this is it. Exactly. So this is one of the licenses. This is the CC BY license. We call it CC BY. CC BY. So this is like you can with this video now you can take portion of it. You can repurpose the video. You can take portion of it, add it to what you're doing, and mix it up again. So they are giving you the rights. So that's what this license is talking about. So that's how. And if you see documents, I will share some documents with us. We'll see CC BY there. So every document, okay, go ahead.
In Creative Commons, we have like organization like
Yes.
like this license.
Now, what happens is this? When we say they give license, it's not as if you take your product to them. They already have the license. So you would also take use of their license. They already have the license set up. So you don't need to go and meet them. There's a systematic way.
No. Is it that when you see them, you must be their member?
No,
Or
you don't need to get their member.
How do one?
You get access
It's
to
online. It's online. There's a link to that. If you go to CC about license, it's there. So what you just need to do is that you decide which license you want to get. So you now, just like what we do with copyright, there's no material you produce. They put C 2025, all rights reserved. And so instead of putting all rights reserved, there's a terminology. Look at what is under this now. So this video by Creative Commons is available under a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 New Zealand license. Okay. Yeah. So that it's under a Creative Commons. It's down. Yeah. So now, normally, if it's actually produced with a copyright, what you will see here is CO 2025 all rights reserved, but it's not there. So they have changed it to Creative Commons Attribution 3.0. So when you now go to CC's website, you will see how you can use this attribution. There's a way when you select it, you put if your resource is online, you put the link of your resource there, and then you tell it that you want CC BY or CC whatever you need, and then it will give you the thing. So when you now put it on your resource, people can click this. Like if it's not a video and it's a website, for instance, they will put the link on it. When you click it, it will take you to the description of that license. So if everybody knows copyright is all rights reserved. So, but in this case, you need to know what's the meaning of the license. So the link will go there. So you have a question?
No, I said before.
Exactly. Go ahead.
Very sorry.
No, that's right.
My question is it only for online contents or both online and app?
It's not only for online. That's a very good question. It's not only for online content. Online content, artworks. Yes, you can produce your book and put it to hard copy. When you print the hard copy, you can only see soft copy available online. So now, by the time you are producing it, you put the same license and put it online. You put it on it. So when people are reading it, when they see it, they will see the license. Okay, questions?
I just want to make a clarification on this.
Okay,
observation. Now, for you to apply it on anything that is products of educational resource, from what it was said at that time, it must first of all be online, available online. It must be accessible worldwide. For it to be open, before you can now say, okay, not that you produce a textbook, now put a copyright and Creative Commons license and you maybe are producing this textbook. CC by distribution period and without making this textbook available online, it is not correct. So it has to first of all be online to fulfill the fundamental condition of being accessible as open resource. I don't know if you are.
Yeah, that is correct. But what we could actually add to that is this. You can still use CC license. Let me explain. Now, what that means is that if anybody else pick it up and put it online, it will still serve the purpose. You can't put a copyrighted material, you can't put it online, that's not your own. I understand what you said. I said it's right, it's correct. But I'm saying that if for any reason, assuming it does, let's assume it does not even have the expertise of putting things online, it doesn't have a website, and it doesn't have a platform to which you can actually easily put it. Assuming, but he has heard about open license and he wants to make it open license. He can actually still use that license. Then if anybody now picks the material up, that person can put it online. And it will still jump. Because you understand what I'm saying? Because yes, it will be open, it will be qualified to be regarded as open resource as far as it's not being accessible. Now, what I'm saying is this. No, don't listen. Now, what I'm saying is this. He has produced the material. Let me say. Yes, he has produced the material. He is not releasing it as a copyrighted material. And nobody will be able to. He wants to make it open, but he still does not know how to put it online himself. So I said that yes, he can still use the open license. Maybe the time he gets someone that can pick it and take it online. So by that person takes it online, it is not there's no illegality on the part of the person that took it online. Because the person has released it for it's just like music.
So are you saying that if I want to apply for a license on their website,
yes,
I may not necessarily be for upload my product?
Yes, you may not. You know, in fact, your product does not need to actually desire the licenses. But okay, I will go to the link and come so that this will clarify that.
Why you guys going to that website? Go to that website. What I'm trying to realize is the fundamental philosophy of openness is being available online.
You join the clause.
This is a fundamental condition. It must be available online, must be accessible online. It cannot be compromised. As far as it is not online.
Do you align with that? Because accessibility is different from accessible online.
Accessibility online.
Is it what we are saying now? Accessibility.
So let's check it out.
Let's clarify that.
Is it the fundamental conditions?
For what I understand it, accessible.
Accessibility online.
Accessibility online.
Yeah.
Accessibility
online. What if I produce this now? And only accessible to people in this school. You cannot really
They don't have to be online to have access to this. If you produce this, people that are close by or wherever you distribute to go and access to it, it's not online.
That's what I'm saying. Let's check out the
So our experts are here to say, okay.
So first, don't let us talk for me. Let us find out. Sister, help us to check.
I'm not going to take that
Let's confirm.
So if it was the accessible online, then there's no way you get that license without proving your
This is it. The license, not that the license has any number. It's just a symbol, symbol. For authentication that will give just like this one. Now, this thing does not have any number. Maybe number 1 million. It's showing that this is produced by this name. So this license code, they are symbols too. Not that when you produce this one, we give you one this license and we put number. If you produce this one, I want to make it a CC by the same disk code that you want to put there, the same code that you want to put there, then what to put there. Not that maybe we give you certain number, but it's not that anybody can interact with that created resource based on the principle of that license.
That you choose.
that you choose. Tomorrow, you may withdraw it.
Yes. Because there is one that is only there. You can go
Let me explain that. Oh, sir, tomorrow I may withdraw, I may produce this one. I put no guarantees in it.
Okay,
I
that's
put no commercial. Tomorrow I may use that say now by addition.
okay.
But if I made it that it is open from the beginning, I cannot withdraw it again because I cannot that people that use it when I go to people to now maybe that the drive maybe driving for me, I cannot withdraw that one again. I think there's another one that they call zero. I think zero. Yeah. So please, you have to contact that one.
So my rule is that if I want to get that bag, for instance, if I want to get that CC, I have to go online on their website.
So let's say let's have a little clarify it. You know, we are building knowledge. He is a guardian of the science. That's our head.
Everybody is there. This is actually where
Government
so this is where we choose the license. I mean, we select the license. So now it comes to this place. It says, do you know which license you need? Let us know say yes. Yeah, you choose the license. So,
when you say no, it has to make options.
let me say no. You require attention for your work. Yes. So it gives you a breakdown for people that don't know exactly the license that you want. Now it's that those four things: attribution, share alike, non-commercial, non-derivative. That gives you those four things. So this one is you require attribution for your work. Yes. Allow others to use your work. Let me say no. So allow others to remix, adapt, or build upon your work. No. Confirm that this license is appropriate. Have a complete license in this work. I have yes. Okay. So, did you see now that I have gotten the license? This is it. And it has not even asked me to put the website of my work there. So I've gotten the license. So this is what my license is. It's a recommended choice. So now say attribution details. You see that here it's put optional. This place that is optional is where you put your link. Did you see link to work? So but it has given it to us here that it is optional. So when it's optional, then if I don't put this one, there's no problem. The most important thing is that the one that is actually giving you will be needed. So that was exactly what I was saying the other time there. So this is actually the information that's needed. So now we need this is our highlight this now. What is highlighted is what needs to be under the copyright place of the work. What is highlighted here? With this logo. This and this is what needs to be at that copyright page of your work. So that anybody that sees it will now say. So now, what you are saying, let me now say something. By the time you produce 5 eggs every matter, by the time you produce something today, and you say you want to change it tomorrow, what you produce at that first time, it is dated. You can't go back to that time again, you can only go forward. So now, what you produce today, by tomorrow you say you want to change. The one you produce yesterday, anybody that has it will still use that same license of that day. You understand what I'm trying to say? You produce something today, and you put this particular license. Now tomorrow you now say you want to change the license. The one that you have produced today, anybody that has that copy would work with that license again.
And that is what I was explaining that the license now this one I will make. The license you put there,
yes,
is that no liability,
yes,
no compensation, no there is restriction that.
exactly.
But tomorrow you may change it and go to higher more license that does not negate the one that is already on it. Now this one is today's license. You cannot commercialize it. You cannot derive. You cannot make a derivative on it. Use it. Now, this man has used it yesterday. Now, I now change it to more liberal one. That okay, today do everything you like with it. Which now. So this new license that are given more open, still accommodate those ones that have been used in the past, but it cannot go the other way round. When you make it open today, you now go back to where okay, but that means that it cannot.
Now let me explain what now helps the cause that. The one you produce today and the one you produce tomorrow are different versions.
No, not. I mean,
it's different version. What there is, no matter what you say about it, so what the normal route is that by the time you produce something,
not I used to not. This very product,
a particular product, you can't take it. You can't take it. So you have to produce another version for you to give it a different license. Okay,
yeah, I think from this discussion to me,
yes,
the only time that can be variation of that license is to me when there is an improvement
exactly
on the different existing product.
Yes.
It could be just few addition.
Yes.
I mean improvement.
Whatever different license.
Then there will be another license.
And to corroborate what you say, now I will produce something today. I will produce something today, and I will say this one is the free version. I'll put an open license. Then I will now say I have a version that has additional that you need to pay. I'll say non-commercial. You understand? So the free version will still be available, but non-commercial won't be available. So there are different versions.
In all these things, what I understand is that anytime you add a new product,
yes,
or a new taste, you must request for license.
Yes. Now
that you have one license now.
So now the question you asked, I've solved it now. This thing, I don't need to be. I'll give you the link. Now, immediately you design your work, you create your work. You can just go there and say, okay, yeah, because of CC, I want to go to CC. Then you go there. Immediately you have done, you have given you the information. It will give you that license. Then you just copy it and put it on your work. That's all. You don't need to have a relationship or contact with CC. But when you put it, it is legally binding on you.
Just
on the work. Exactly, that work. It's legally binding on that work.
I said, like Dr. was saying, if we now upgraded that work,
yes,
another license.
That's
what it is.
Yeah.
Because
yes, exactly.
the old license is used to put on the first one as the last.
No, those licenses
are still accessible.
It's a different version. It's a different version. Yeah, it's a different version.
Sorry. I want us to, because I've come across that, I want us to look a bit more on that.
Yes.
Something. That you can open a document that you have already
place a seal on it. Let's finish this. You see after this.
So it is
conclude though, we are also
yeah, it's a beautiful conversation. No, that's why I said that video is the last one. It's not-
Remember to give us the link.
So yes, I'm going to everything that I shared. I'm going to send it across to us. We're going to have it. That's the number. Sorry. No, that's what I'm actually shocked that did you get the answer to your question from this? Now you already have the license, you can actually put it on your material. So that anybody that wants to learn this, if you say people can use it freely, they can now put the work and put it online. They will use that same license and put it on. So that's the situation. So we really appreciate everything. Let us start for ourselves. We have done very. Sorry we started a bit late, but I really enjoyed the interaction. But that's what really made me. I look forward to another time that we're going to have this session. So, quick one, the announcements. Number one, I appreciate everybody for sending me list of our students because I've been looking for them. So now we want them to be around on Thursday so that we can shed more light into some certain things about the course of them because there's a continuity. If you receive the letters that we share, how many of us received our letter? Letter.
Email.
Yeah, apart from the email, the original letter of invitation. Okay. How do you receive that? I sent the PDF to you. I sent the PDF, the initial PDF that I sent to you. Yeah, it's on the WhatsApp. It's on your WhatsApp.
I did not receive.
Okay, you are good. So now, you. Okay, your don't pass that.
This is the letter you.
The letter that you yes, now.
But you know that you only make.
Oh, yes.
So I wanted to go to something on the letter. That is, sorry, list of activities.
The letter that I wanted to send to the hard copy. I mean,
no, I've not said this. She has not used the letter.
it's like
That letter is there. The letter is the letter that.
hello. For it is good tomorrow.
Yes, I will go. You know,
I said, it's letter that I gave to her. I'll send you what to do so that you have your copy. So on that letter, we have the list of activities for this research. So now this is one of it. You've completed a survey. That's the first one. Then you give us the list of your students so that they can be part of the short films. That's then the third one is for us to be here. Then the fourth one is Thursday that the students are going to come. We are also supposed to come with students, please. Now, so that's because we are going to teach AI also on Thursday, and I want us to be there because it's really good for us. So now, so that's what. Then the fifth one is that the students will during that teaching practice, they will try some of these things that we're talking about, like their practical things. So if they use lesson notes, that is one license of the other, they will state it to us. So we will give them, they will have a form that they will take along to their teaching practice and they are going to fill. So they will send back the completed forms back. You can send it to us, and you can send it to you. Either way, you should just get to us. So that we'll now be able to compile the data and then we'll do publications. All of us are going to be involved in that process. You understand? So all of us are going to be involved. All this, like the initial data that we have from you, there's a level of things that we can actually develop from that. So that's first. So now when they go through the course, we already have some data from them too as well. We'll be able to do that. Then when they go to the practice, so we'll see the different layers, we get access to some very good quality data that we can actually use. Talk about good education, and then some of the things that we talked about now, we'll be able to now push it and see how it works. Then whatever it is that in our curriculum, how we could actually make it open and all that, we will talk about during the competition. So it's not anything here. In fact, we just started. You understand? So that's the situation. So please let us know all of that because we're receiving our communication. So please, when you receive our communication, please let us attend to that. We are really appreciative for that. So Thursday, let the students come around and then we will host them again.
So then we give more information by tomorrow, which of the halls are we going to use. There's going to be university too as well. So you want to take care of it as well. So then certificates, all of us that we came here to do, we receive our certificates. That one we get that ready. Mostly, if it's ready before Thursday, we will give it to us. We will give us the hard copy. So there's no problem. So
Why not?
Why not? We do it too. We do it. It's not the version, but people also like to have both the soft and natural. So we have the PDF, we share the PDF, but we just give us the hard copies as well. So that's just so then all the students that participate. In fact, I was telling you, in the course that they are doing, there is an AI certification, Google certification that is inside already, free, that you'll be able to get the certificate from. So, and that's then after they are through, and then for us here, now, quick one, all these are so much announcement, but they are already in the newspaper. Now, we have access, because we are part of this, and we have access to GC1 exam. We get the voucher from us free. So what we will do is that by January, we will give us the data, we will do a quick scan for GC. GC1 is Google Certified Educator 1. It's an exam, it's for educational technology. So it's purely educational technology. So now we go through the course, then after we finish the course, we now tell us, we are going to do the exam. Immediately you pass, you get a certificate, it's 3 years. The certificate lasts for 3 years before you need to certify. And then you can actually use it for both everything I want to use for what do you call it now, promotion and all the rest and other opportunities. So those are the things that we have in store for. So please let us put that in mind and let us follow up with this. Then the students too, let us ask them, are you doing the short course? Because we want them to finish your time. In fact, what we initially said to them was that they have like 5 days because we don't want to extend, so that they'll be able to finish it on time and then conclude that they'll be ready anytime there is for what do you call it? They want to go on the department. So that's the situation. Then one last thing on Thursday too, I was telling you the other time, we have a Google Educator group for Nigeria. Google Educator group, they are Google Educator group across the world. It's an opportunity to join because now some of this information, a lot of things about AI, everything that is coming up from this organization, we have first-hand access, and then we need to like be ahead on all of those things. So there's no better way than for us to be in a group where we get updates, information about what's going on in our field, because these things they are pushing into so much of education, and we as leaders, we can't afford to stay. But you ask you, AI in secondary school, how do you feel? Yeah, I didn't say to use AI in secondary school. I don't even know. Yeah, this is what I using it. So you must be able to kind of tell them and be a better guy. So that's what. So I think let me apologize for time. I really appreciate everyone, and I'll do sincerely look out to communicate with you soon. And anytime you're going to have anything that is physical program like this, we will inform you first, so that again from now you cannot extend further. So by just receiving everything that gets on national fund for us, like get more people in, we let you, will be the one that will help us to like, okay, tell this person and you will give them the understanding that this is what we're backing doing. So thank you very much. So we're going to take a good picture.
Yeah, my question is only our student got from the I have not what time do you set for Thursday? Because of movement and
we're supposed to start now. But will they be able to get it?
That's my question.
Okay, should we move it to them?
No, but how does it arrange?
Okay, let's discuss that. So,
yeah, because
by that we'll discuss that, we will know if we shift the time and then communicate with everybody.
The student that will move.
There are 2 questions. The first one is the conveyance first.
Everyone will solve that.
After that, the timing.
And the timing will be determined majorly and respectively by the time they take off.
They have to do take off a good level.
Is that arrangement for me to be?
Let's discuss that after the so we can now not question
Then so again, let me remind you, before going to explain, make a copy of it. Give it to give the rules. We have to because I can help you give it to them tomorrow.
I'll be going to
Check it for you.
That will all right, let's talk about question and move back.
Ladies and
I'm not in the pictures. It's not this is
only manage is able to so much. We say Creative Commons. Great Nigerian educators. Very much.
Hello, I'm not appearing that in that.
Photoshop this out. They can Photoshop this
I don't know this one.
why is it?
We have like 21 now. If you go there, you see them. They're like 21 even when they not here to so they were when I was here, them was coming.
All right, so I'll look out for more information.
You are workers. You want to prove
somebody that says something that one of my colleagues came I like the one. You see the number. And you see the number of people that came to that. And what they are after my reproduction. See, what they are see.
Mr. John, yes,
Hello, sir. One money here of Lata here. Is the best that so they can finish your thing. Yes, that one.
Can I? Yes.
How do I get my own letter?
Your letter. Yeah, of course. Yeah, we can print. Yeah, let me send you the
Because àwọn ọmọ yẹn tí wọ́n bá yẹ ti kúrò bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n lè ní tàn.
So, sir, kí ni iṣẹ́ àlọ́?
Solomon Olusegun, ṣé iṣẹ́ àpẹẹrẹ? I always like the name.
Okay, cool.
Then back on there, Solomon, the Olúgbẹ̀rọ is the son. Solomon
Olusegun.
Olúgbẹ̀rọ is the son. Is it possible to get the federal qualification? Get okay, so I definitely will pay what's the argument that I'm making it? No. It's not I respected that probably I've been taken care of from that. I think we can go to the park.
ẹ ti lo kọ́ọ̀bù yẹn tàbí ẹ á ti lo kọ́ọ̀bù yẹn. ẹ ṣe kí n àwọn ọ̀nà ilé àṣẹ báwo ṣe àwọn aṣèwáyà ní ìjọ ilẹ̀ tó máa wá ní ókè tó ní ilẹ̀ máa wà láti ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀pẹ́ àwọn work special mi ò mọ̀ bí wọ́n máa lò ó problem ní máa wà láti ọ̀tọ̀ ti di ẹ̀sìn ní mẹ́sìn lọ́mọ. Kò sí problem mú wa nílé ìlú tí wọ́n ti gbà tẹ́lẹ̀ látẹ̀lé.
I'm suggesting that maybe any of those together are very like so maybe can go to what's in your mind?
HOD ẹ̀jẹ̀ lẹ́yìn ìdí ẹ̀yọ̀ máa ẹ̀ ọ̀pá àwọn dọ́kítà nígbàgbọ́ àwọn wà street when it comes to people but ẹ̀jẹ̀ lẹ́yìn HOD ẹ̀jẹ̀ HOD sọ̀rọ̀ kan.
So you ask me a question here.
Now that's what I'm saying because if you are expecting them,
yes,
they are physical.
Yes.
How far have we gone with them? Of the arrangement of their movement?
No, we are not going on that.
And it's
we have been planned he has been communicating with me and I've been giving him some condition of their movements. So we are working on it. That's why we are working on it. Only that.
Who is the arrowhead?
He's the one.
Edward Mr. John.
So we have different suggestions that we have already discussed together. Now we also mentioned issue, but this issue. That Mr. Okumole is also a very open person. I think he's also a very open person. Then we shouldn't give any chance for anything.
I know.
Also me is I'm in front of the officer. Oh, okay. I'm thinking that
let us look at how if
can I say this?
I also want to relax
my for choose.
So it's just it.
Can I say this?
My suggestion is I don't need to decide to act I have said go to work or make research you can get
your phone is with you now.
And this my discussing was by 7 a.m. 6 a.m. on your
That's what I said about the rest of the one.
One go as well. We are standing. We are 2 buses. Our buses to one traveling, no matter distance, no matter distance. We will only park on the Antilonia, on the Go, and all of that. If they have, go there, I'm really looking. The round to Antilonia. If there's a fact like that, at the take us there. It's not it's not left for negotiating for to and fro of those students. But the bank do the come on their own, they come by one, or on their own they are late. I'm sorry, you will not get them. Say so. Ṣé àwọn máa ti àbí ẹgbẹ́ kí We've gotten the number. And now I was seeing from
no, at least you saw them there. So I was about to serious. The seriousness out that I put them you will come to make up for on Thursday. After that, every that ẹ jẹ́ kí mi sá lọ́dún ṣe rí ẹgbẹ́ mi sọ pé àwọn ọba sọ àwọn òfin ẹ̀ta lọ́wọ́ ìbáraẹni fún ìlà fún àwọn tí ẹ fẹ́ láwùí láti lè gẹ́gẹ́ bọ́ yìí So we are not for Friday. We didn't know they work.
So by changing,
no, there so
when we saw
something, of course, we have
I thought, why will my process then? Because I think it was one myself.
Okay.
Pé káwọn wo bóyá àwọn mọ́tò park tàbí rírú àwọn tó máa wà jí lómi. Rírú àwọn kámẹ́rà tó wà ní lórí. It's just a bus that can take them. Okay.
Yes.
As the war.
Okay.
Then it's not depend on negotiating from to and from.
Okay.
But I don't know how that one is paid. Alternatively, B, which is similar to that, àwọn local park ni wọ́n tẹ bá lọ afẹ́ lọ sẹ́kù pẹ̀lú prọfẹ̀tì kò wá ní wípé àwọn bọ́ọ̀sì máa ń lé ìgbẹ́ yìí àwọn mọ́tò sẹ́ńtẹ̀ ìgbà kékeré yìí tó lè pẹ́ fọ́ọ̀tì tó lè pẹ́ ìpolówó kúrò ìlú láti kọ́.
Ṣẹ̀rí tèmi tẹ̀síláàdì ló ti gbàgbé wọn. Ní tẹ̀lé bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀. Ẹ wọ́n ló gbọ́ àgbà fún ìgbà àjọba àti ìgbà fún ọ̀dọ̀ ṣáà tí láti sọ̀rọ̀ láìsí. Inside the two of the now come back to our system or education. The way we fall 15 of them. Everybody, they wait for me and get the pay now, you know how money they are not like. If I am like, ẹ jọ kùnrin o, obìnrin ní o, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni dúró ìdí àgbà. So, ìlú ìlú àdéhùn máa gbà ó máa bọ̀ lọ́pọ̀ àìkú ẹ̀ máa bọ̀ lọ́pọ̀ àìkú orí pé ó lè kó ewu òde ìwádìí àti ọkùnrin máa gbà. Wọ́n á ní kó omi wọn ṣe tí wọ́n á ní kúrò àti tó ẹ̀rọ mi tẹ̀lé lọ. Wọ́n ti pé the only thing wọ́n ti pé ìdáàbò kọ́ ẹ̀ láti bọ̀ láti gbé ìbọ̀. Wọ́n á ní kó sì lè gbàgbé ayé wo ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ̀ẹ́dẹ́ lásù. Wọ́n á ní ìgbà wọ́n á ní ilé tẹ́lá ẹgbẹ́ wọn ìwọ̀n ìṣọ́nà ìgbà wọn ní ìdí. Wọ́n lè mọ̀ fún wọn lò wọ́n ní ẹni lẹ́yìn ìgbà ìgbà wọn máa tẹ̀. Wọ́n lè mọ̀ wá nínú ẹ̀wà rẹ̀ ẹ̀sìn ọ̀gbà ayé two chips àti ọgbọ́n máa fún wa ní náà. Then again, God is ọmọ àfúrú ọmọ lára àwọn students ìdí ìlọjà tí kò ní àgbẹ̀ ẹ̀wọ̀n ìwọ̀n wà jẹ́ pé ṣe àgbẹ̀wọ̀n pé with àfẹ́sẹ́lá wípé ó lọ́wọ́ àpò ìdí àjẹ́ máa pé àbúrò ọmọ